Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Today is July 25th, 2019. It's a Thursday. And there's a lot of stuff happening in the market. So, without further ado, let's kind of get rolling here and let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. First thing I want to take a look at is the silver price today. Now, what we're seeing is we're seeing the price dropping a little bit now, but we did set a peak of over $16.60. She's at 16.42 bid, 16.52 ask, and we're looking at down 15 cents. So it is dropping right now. Let's take a look at gold real quick. Gold is dropping significantly right now at this minute. It's dropped $9.90. $14 and $1,415 and $1,416 ask. So the gold price is really falling right now. I know they're still under the suppression of gold and silver. They're still suppressing the price of gold and silver. They will do this until they can't do it any longer. And it's going to get harder and harder for them as we move toward ever-increasing levels of stimulus in the world. We're going to talk about that toward the end of the show. Let's take a look now at cryptocurrency market capitalizations. And we're looking at $275.8 billion with a Bitcoin dominance of 64.7%. Bitcoin is roughly stuck right at $10,000. It's staying right on $10,000. This is what it's been doing lately. It's been basically going sideways. I predicted on my channel, the Delta Report, that it would go sideways in this period. I called the top exactly, and I predicted this sideways movement. And this sideways movement, I believe, is going to continue until the end of this month, when the Fed drops 25 basis points, I believe, on their interest rates. That, I believe, is possibly going to set cryptocurrency into going into the next leg up. We're going to have to wait and see if it happens exactly that way, but that's the way I see it happening. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average this morning, and we're down 145 points. A lot of this has to do with Europe and what Mario Draghi is doing over in Europe. So we're down 145 points on the day. The market has already priced in this rate cut that's coming up at the end of this month. So we're going to have to wait for that. Let's take a look now at oil. Oil is up 42 cents on the day so far. It was up higher, but now it's dropping back down. It's still up 42 cents. Let me just refresh the page. It's up 57 cents. So it's popping a little bit right here on the end. You can see this little pop right here in the end. That's what it's doing right now. Let's take a look now at U.S. Treasuries. Now this has everything to do with what Draghi's doing over in Europe right now, and this is why these treasuries are popping. Treasury yields are popping today. We're up quite a little bit, 4.7 basis points on the U.S. 30-year. Let me move in here and we can take a look all the way across the yield curve. The yields are rising today, and we're looking at this. This could be the start of what I've been predicting now for a couple months. I've been saying a snapback in these yields, them springing back. The yields, the bond yields springing back, and this could be the start of the bond yields starting to rise again, especially on the long end of the curve. Got to keep our eye on that 10-year. You remember I said that 3.25%. Now, you guys haven't heard me say that for a long time on the U.S. 10-year. That's the mark, 3.25%. Suddenly, we're up almost 4.3 basis points today alone. We're solidly above 2. One of the things I didn't see coming was this tremendous inflow of capital that affected the bond market. I should have saw it coming. If there's a fellow out there who's got a theory called the milkshake theory, and this is part of that playing out, where the dollar is still the best game in town. In Bitcoin hasn't really made it yet there, and the cryptocurrencies. Gold and silver is still lacking luster because it's controlled through price manipulation and the paper short contracts and so on. And so this low bond yields that we've been through, these capital inflows, they come for a period of time. It's almost like the tide coming in, you know. At a certain point, the tide stops coming in and it reverses. And that's the way with these bond yields. The tide's been coming in. And now we're hitting the spot where we're hitting the reversal of that. We could hit the reversal rather suddenly. The tide could start flowing out on these yields. You know? Money moves like water. That's why they call it liquidity. It moves like water. When the tide goes out, we're going to see where the real money's going to go. This is coming. We got a lot of stuff coming. Let's take a look now at the dollar index today, and we're seeing it drop off right now. You know? So now let's take a look and see what Draghi had to say. Draghi's bazooka a dud? Stocks jump as the euro spikes. It appears the market is disappointed in Draghi's promises, but not delivering anything. Now this is what the U.S. central bank's been doing too. A lot of promises. They haven't delivered anything yet. You know? No meat on the bone. What's the package? Stimulus might entail. The European Central Bank is waiting for new economic forecasts before pressing the button on new stimulus that would require a preparation in a situation that remains complex. So over here in America, with the Federal Reserve, we have them waiting on rate cuts. In Europe, they're waiting on stimulus. Draghi says he told the Group of Seven meeting earlier in July it's difficult to be gloomy today because there are signs of strength. And now, see, in the United States, they're doing exactly the same thing. They're saying signs of strength, when there is no real strength. You know? The numbers are all manipulated. Even if there was a quick deterioration in other areas, but the markets didn't like his lack of action. The Europe is spiking off of knee-jerk selling. So we see the euro and USD. We see the euro spiking. We also see the US 10-year is being well affected by this. Global yields are reversing dramatically higher. And we also see stocks are tumbling. All of this has occurred after Draghi said significant monetary stimulus is needed. Now those same words that Draghi's just said, the significant monetary stimulus is needed, are going to be echoed in the United States very soon. You know? They haven't really started any of these. Mario Draghi has not started this program yet, but they're heading that way. The United States has not lowered interest rates yet, but they're heading that way. The next step after they lower these interest rates down to the zero mark is going to be the United States echoing these words of Draghi. You will hear the Fed chairman say the same words. Significant monetary stimulus is needed. Then later what happens is then the monetary stimulus starts to come. The same in the United States. All of these central banks now are in a process right now of shifting 180 degrees from where they have been. I know that the United States Central Bank has been tightening. We're looking at a 180-degree shift, not tightening anymore. Now we're going to head toward loosening. This is all part of the deal, what's going on right now. We have to wait for this. The world's sinking into a recession. The central banks are lagging behind this recession. The recession's going to intensify, and then we're going to see the major stimulus. We're going to see the world's central banks making a 180-degree shift and going back to complete and utter capitulation to monetary stimulus. This is what's coming in the very near future. This is going to be a rocket ship for gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. A rocket ship to the moon. But it's also going to be, you're going to see less purchasing power in these fiat currencies. And it's going to lead to inflation, ultimately. because they cannot go in any other direction except the direction that they're moving in. And they're going to continue to move in this direction. And the world central banks are going to have to work together. And they're going to have to basically print a lot of money. Where's it going to end? Money's going to be worthless. Money, what we call money, it's actually not money, it's currency. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.